loaded up the helicopters and departed from Kandahar airfield. It was about a 45-minute flight, sitting on the helicopter, and the helicopters touched down. We got off the back, waited for the helicopters to depart from earshot, and then formed up and started foot patrolling. Everyone's on night vision goggles, moving quietly, so it's green and black, grainy, like you can see on your screen now. When we got to the designated point, the 10-man element that I was a part of detached from the main assault force as per the mission plan. We proceeded towards that large hill that overlooked the Taliban compound. When we got to the base of the hill, we had been led by a Navy explosive ordnance disposal technician, not a SEAL, one who's trained to detect and disarm bombs. The rest of us were covering, single file, this person. When we got to the base of the hill, though, we estimated about a 15, 20-minute hike to the top. Halfway up, you could see the vague outlines of that fort looking like from medieval times. When we got to the top of the hill, we all fanned out, not knowing if there's anybody up there. So we're proceeding very cautiously, slowly, quietly. It's very dark. We're all on night vision, so it's green and black. Moving forward, the rifles at the ready, and I'm moving forward, taking a step at a time. All of a sudden, a flash of light under my night vision goggles, and I'm on the ground. I didn't know what had happened. I'm coming to, disoriented, and then it occurred to me I must have stepped on a pressure plate. Pressure plates are buried underground. The weight of a human or object up above presses down, the two plates make a connection, and the bomb goes off. Now, in this case, unbeknownst to me at the time, the bomb was actually two 105 millimeter artillery shells wired together. Taken together, this can destroy an armored vehicle. But the second artillery shell didn't explode. And the first one exploded, but it went off low order, meaning not all of the explosive powder detonated. I'm laying there in the dirt, realizing this must have just happened. I'm coming to disoriented, wondering, are my teammates okay? I need them to be okay. Where are they? Are they alive? Realizing I need to get out man down over the radio so the ground force commander down below with the main assault force knows what's going on. So I reached up for my push-to-talk, which keys up the radio, but it's not there. In fact, nothing on my kit is where it's supposed to be. My hands know where things are supposed to be. My helmet had been blasted off, the night vision gone with it. Everything's dark. I can't move. Only my arms seem to work, and nothing's where it's supposed to be. I remember for a second laying there in the dirt, feeling utterly helpless. I couldn't do anything. Next thing I know, my teammates are upon me, assessing the situation. None of them had been injured in the blast. Corey, the SEAL medic, is asking me questions that I can't really answer because my mind is too foggy. He's doing a full body exam to see the extent of the damage. He decides to apply a tourniquet. As you all know, tourniquets are meant to cut off blood flow to the limb. When Corey applied the tourniquet, he cranked it down as hard as he possibly could on one of my lower limbs. And this is the first time that I'm registering pain in a direct way. You see, the blast itself had left me in shock, but with the application of that tourniquet, I'm now experiencing pain. But that one tourniquet wasn't enough to cut off the blood flow, so Corey applied a second tourniquet, and a third one, and another one after that, and another one after that, and another one after that. 6 total tourniquets. It was excruciating to go through the application of these tourniquets, but I had no idea the world of pain I was about to enter in just a couple minutes. Meanwhile, there is a frantic scramble to get the helicopters that had dropped us off back in time to extricate me from this situation before I bled out and died. As per the mission plan, those 2 helicopters had gone back to Kandahar airfield, touched down, refueled, unloaded an Army Special Forces team and several Afghan commando soldiers. They were bringing these troops back to be a blocking force for when the target assault commenced. So there were already 2 helicopters airborne and en route. But time and fuel are going to be of the essence. The SEAL Ground Force commander down below with the main assault force made the decision that the helicopter that was going to lift me out would not be allowed to land or hover on that hill. Too dangerous. You don't know what's up there. So he dispatched several SEALs from the main assault force to go secure a suitably flat, safe helicopter landing zone down below. He ordered my teammates up above on the hill with me to get me down off that hill ASAP. So they started picking me up, carrying me, but it was too steep, too dark, too rocky. And they kept tripping and falling, and I'm falling from 3-4 feet up in the air and landing on sharp, craggy rocks. It just wasn't working. So they went to the last resort, which is a body drag, and you're grabbing the injured person by the shoulder straps of their kit, face up position and pulling as hard as you can over the ground. It's very fatiguing for the people doing the drag. So they were rotating out after about 30 to 60 seconds. Corey, the SEAL medic, wasn't taking part in the dragging. He was attending to me medically, telling me to stay awake, stay awake. He would slap my cheek occasionally. Every sharp, craggy rock was cutting into my body like sharp knives. It was more physical pain than I had ever been in my life. It makes the log or those tourniquet applications seem pale in comparison. I can honestly say, as I look back and remember this experience, I didn't have the slightest thought of not making it through this, of dying, of not seeing my family again. These thoughts just weren't there. There was no space for them to be there. My whole world, due to the necessity of this situation, was consumed, inundated by this pain, being dragged, time slowed to a standstill. It was interminable. Meanwhile, the helicopters are overhead, but they're not landing prematurely, and fuel is getting lower and lower. It's getting closer to the point on board the helicopter where it's reaching bingo fuel. Bingo fuel is where the pilot must return to point of origin or the helicopter will drop out of the sky. It is non-negotiable. If they reach bingo fuel, they're going back with or without me. It's getting closer to that point. My teammates are working as hard as they can, swapping out, rotating, dragging me down. They finally got me off that hill, across over to the HLZ, radioed up to the helicopter, which came down and landed. They dragged me onto the tail ramp, got me on board within 1 minute of it reaching bingo fuel. The tail ramp comes up. There's a light in my face, and then darkness.